Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name's Stacy. This is the mid-year book freakout tag, I think it's called. I was tagged for this video by Miriam, and I'll leave her channel down below. I actually have not been feeling like filming for a while lately. I don't know, just not in the mood to film and edit, especially. I hate editing. Ugh. Man, if there was a way I could just talk for a few minutes and then like magically throw it up onto YouTube without having to do the whole in-between bit, that would be spectacular. But I watched her video this morning, and as she was going through her answers, I was like, wow, I actually really like this tag. I kind of want to do it. And then at the end, I was tagged. So it worked out perfectly. There's that. Let's just jump right into this. The first question is, best book you've read so far in 2022? For that, I'm going to go with this book, Soon by Jerry Jenkins. This takes place in the future after World War III, and it follows an unbeliever in that futuristic world who becomes a believer in the most amazing way. This is part of a trilogy. All books are amazing, but the first book really just is perfection. There's a lot of action, there's a lot of suspense. The end of this, I was just like, I couldn't breathe. It was so good. And I had to jump into book 2 immediately. So, yep, best book that I've read so far in 2022. The next one is, what is the best sequel that you read so far this year? For that, I am going with this, The Echo in the Darkness by Francine Rivers. This is book 2 in the Mark of the Lion trilogy. Book 1, spectacular, loved it, but I think I might even prefer book 2 more. The faith elements in this book, it's just so perfect. This book series is the most faith-filled books that I have ever read. These books did so much for me to show me what it looks like to actually walk in your Christian faith, like the little day-to-day actions that you can do to show others that you're a Christian and show love for Christ. Just amazing. Okay, next is a new release that you haven't read yet, but you really want to. For this one, I am going with Potiphar's Wife by Misu Andrews. I don't own this book. I'll just put it up. I love Misu Andrews. She writes biblical fiction, and she does such a great job with it. I love the story of Joseph in the Bible. It's one of my favorites, and so I think Potiphar's Wife is going to be excellent. Next is the most anticipated release for the second half of the year. For that, I'm going with The Hidden Prince by Tessa Afshar, which I think was the same pick as Miriam's. I think that's what she picked. We both love Tessa Afshar. She also is a biblical fiction author. I think I've read 4 or 5 books of hers so far, and I have loved everything she has written. The next one is, what was your biggest disappointment in 2022? That one is going to be The Enlightenment of Bees by Rachel Linden. That was one of our Christian book club picks, and it was promoted to be a Christian fiction book, but I feel like they went the opposite direction with the story. They went with a lot of new age things, and I did not like that at all. That was a huge turnoff, and there were so many missed opportunities in this story of where faith could have been a major element, and it was just completely lacking. There was no Christian faith in this book, so I found that disappointing, and I find that disappointing overall in the Christian fiction publishing world when it's marketed as Christian fiction and that's not in there. It's really annoying. Moving on, the next one is the biggest surprise for 2022. I'm going to go with The Spice King by Elizabeth Camden. I was really surprised by the way I became completely absorbed and interested in the idea of the Department of Agriculture and the FDA or food safety, all that sort of thing. I wouldn't have thought that the things that were talked about in this book would be as interesting to me as they were, but it's written in such a way so it made me want to go look stuff up. Yeah, I loved this story way more than I thought I was going to. I thought it was just going to be another typical historical Christian fiction book, but there was more faith in it. There was more interesting concepts in it. The characters were outstanding. So, yeah, I loved this book. Okay, next one, favorite new author. I'm so excited I found this author this year. I can't even. I can't even. I want to read all of his books, every single one. So my favorite new author is going to be Stephen Lawhead. Shocker. I am on book 5 of this series. This is the Bright Empire series. Oh, it just got so dark. I'm sorry. It's getting cloudy out. But yeah, this is a time travel sci-fi Christian fiction series. I have just been so blown away by all of these books. There is never a dull moment in any of these. The characters, even the bad guys, are just, oh, it's so good. I want to thank Holly for mentioning Stephen Lawhead. I know she likes his books as well. So glad that I picked this up. And because I love that series so much, I just started this book by Stephen Lawhead. I'm currently reading book 1 of this series. There are several other series of his that are on my list that I cannot wait to get to. I am literally going to read every book that he writes. I just know it. So the next one is newest fictional crush. And I don't really get into like fictional crushes or anything, but if I was forced to pick somebody that I was going to marry from one of these books, it would be this guy, Gray Delacroix. Because honestly, who could not want that for a last name? I would love to be Mrs. Stacy Delacroix, like, honestly. So he's rich, he's a Christian, he's a heck of a guy. I really like him. He's awesome. So that's my pick. So the next one is my favorite new character from 2022. And for me, that is going to be Wilhelmina from this series. She's in all the books, but she starts out in book 1. And she has such a great transformation. She starts out being kind of mousy and kind of timid. Is that the same as mousy? I don't know. Just kind of this odd character. And then she accidentally gets sucked into Prague in the 1500s. And what she makes of her life in Prague and the woman that she turns into, who she becomes, is just so fun. Her transformation is so fun. She's funny, she's awesome, she's smart. I love her. And if I ever get sucked back into time, I would want to do things in the way that she does because she's just so smart about it. All right, next one is a book that made you cry. And for me, that is Safely Home by Randy Alcorn. I sobbed. I sobbed big, ugly tears in this book. This book wrecked me. So good. It is so good. There is so much faith in this book. And again, this book shows you what it looks like to live out your Christian faith. Like actions. Like what you would say, what you would do in different situations. Horrible situations. It's about Christian persecution in China. Oh, this book is so good. Please read this. Okay, next one is a book that made you happy. And I'm currently almost done with this one. But my heart. Every time I feel like I might not be wanting to read or I'm kind of down or just feeling blah, if I go back to this character, the whole world is right again. I can watch the shows, the movies, read the book, doesn't matter. It's this character, it brings me so much joy. And that is Sherlock Holmes. I love him. So I am reading The Memoirs of Sherlock Holmes by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. I picked this up last weekend, 2 weeks ago. I went to a used bookstore with my daughter. So I just got this, brought it home, immediately started reading it. And gosh, it just brings me back. I have such great memories of all things Sherlock. I have been obsessed for many years, and so you can even see in my channel picture, I'm dressed as Sherlock in that picture. If you didn't know that, that's who I am in that picture. I actually did a video on my old book channel like dressing up as Sherlock, like all dressed up playing the character of Sherlock. It's one of my favorite costumes I've ever done. So anyway, being in this world of Sherlock is just so much fun to me. The world of Sherlock is just my happy place in general. All right, we're almost done. The next one is Most Beautiful Book You've Bought This Year. And I literally just bought this one also when I bought the Sherlock book 2 weeks ago. And that is this edition of Kidnapped by Robert Louis Stevenson. I think this is from the 40s. It's really old, but it's illustrated with color illustrations. And then when you take the jacket off, it looks like this. So I just thought this was really cool. I've actually never read this book before, and I really want to get to it this summer. I'm in a very big like adventure mood lately. I want to read all kinds of adventure stories right now, so I think this would be perfect. But yeah, I love that cover. And the last one is What Books Do You Need to Read by the End of the Year? And I do not like giving myself a TBR at all whatsoever. Like, no, because as soon as I put it on there, I don't want to read the book. But I do really want to read Kidnapped because it's an adventure story. And I really want to read The Hobbits. I just love Bilbo. He's my favorite. So I am going to read this. I don't care if I put it on a TBR. I'm going to read this book, no matter what. No matter what. And also, one other one that I really would like to get to, I hope I don't blow it. I hope I really do read this. And that is The Never-Ending Story. Now look at this cover. That could have been my prettiest cover, but I didn't buy this year. I don't remember when I got this. It's been a while, but it's stunning. I've seen the movie, but I don't know if the movie and the book are similar at all. They might be vastly different. So, and I think this would be an adventure story too, right? Like all of actually, The Hobbit, The Never-Ending Story, and they're all green. Look at this. They're all like similar. They all would be adventures, right? So that's what I'm in the mood for. That's what I want to read. All right, guys, that is the video. I'm not sure who else Miriam tagged. I remember seeing she tagged several other people, but I don't remember who it was. So if you haven't done this video and you want to do it, do it. So yeah, that is all I got. I hope y'all are having a great June, and I will see y'all soon. Bye.